Hi guys, Angie Nelson here from theworkathomewife.com. Last week I had left you a couple of questions here on the Facebook page about the kinds of work that you were looking for when looking for work-at-home jobs. And something that came up quite a bit was data entry. Now this is a really in-demand field, and because of that there are not a lot of jobs available. Those that do come up don't come up very often. So I just wanted to give you a little rundown of a couple of legitimate jobs in the data entry industry, and also provide you with some alternatives as well that may fit your needs just as much as data entry would. So obviously, like I just said, this is a really competitive field. If you are going to apply for a job in the data industry, or excuse me, data entry industry, you are going to need to have above par typing skills. So, at minimum, we're looking at, 50 words per minute, 60 words per minute. Some companies are going to go up there towards 75 words per minute. And they're not only going to look at words per minute, but they're also going to be looking at your accuracy. So even if you can get your fingers going really fast, if you are making a lot of mistakes, that is going to kick you out of the pool. So this is definitely something that you want to, take some time to practice. And there are several websites that will help you practice your typing skills and get things, up to par before you start applying. So, available jobs. There are a couple of legitimate companies. One is Axion Global. They're most known as a transcription company, but they do occasionally have data entry jobs there as well. So you'll need to keep an eye on their website to see when those come available. Also, there's a company called Axion Data Entry Services. And this is a totally legitimate company, but they rarely have openings available. In order to qualify with them, you are going to need to have 2 to 3 years of a data entry experience, and you're also going to have a minimum typing speed of 50 words per minute with no errors. Now, the pay is going to be based on projects. Most data entry jobs are. The pay is going to be based on performance. So that's another reason that your typing speed is really important, because you are probably only going to be paid per page or per entry. So the more work that you're getting done, the better your pay is going to be. So it does really pay to be fast and accurate. Now, Axion, because they only have openings coming up, very rarely, they do have a database that you can get put into, and it does require a small fee in order to keep you registered on their site. But this isn't a scam. It is a totally legitimate company. It's just that they rarely have openings available, so they want to make sure that those that they're calling on are truly interested. Dion Data Solutions is another company that hires data entry professionals. You are going to need a minimum typing speed of 60 words per minute. And with this one, they need you to be able to meet deadlines. They may have you assigned to more than one project at a time, and it's imperative that you're able to meet the deadlines that they have in place. And they do only hire U.S. citizens. The Smart Crowd is part of Lionbridge. You have been around the work-at-home world for a while. You've likely heard of Lionbridge because they hire search engine evaluators, ad evaluators. So this is another division that they have, and this division concentrates on what we call microtasks. Now, what microtasks are these are just small little things that need done. It's not going to be a big project that you're working on. You may only be picking up, a little piecemeal work. Now, because of that, a lot of people do like it because you can work whenever you want and as much as you want. So there is a lot of flexibility with this. The way that the Smart Crowd works is that you need to register on their site, and then they're going to evaluate your skills and start matching you with tasks that meet your skills. And this one pays just once a month. The last one I wanted to talk to you about was Working Solutions. This one periodically has data entry openings. In order to work with them, you're going to need to fill out an online application. They will follow up with you to take some assessments, and once you have done those assessments, they're going to be in contact with you within 2 weeks or so to let you know whether you've been accepted or rejected. Now, once you become an agent with their company, you will have the opportunity to review different projects and then apply towards those projects. So each program there pays differently, and those payments are made by direct deposit or they will mail you a check. Now, one thing I want to really be clear about when we are talking about data entry is, like I said earlier, this is something that a lot of people want to get their foot in the door. Everybody thinks that data entry is going to be the perfect job for them. They don't want to be on the phone. They just want to do some typing work every now and again. Now, because of that, this is considered an easy job, but it's also a job that is easily scammed because so many people want into it. So you're really going to have to be careful if you're applying to a company that you do not know that says that they're offering data entry work, because this is one of those industries that we see scams all the time. So keep that in mind and be careful. Last week I talked to you about some things that are going to be red flags, you know, when it comes to scams offering way bigger pay than, you know, what the job actually entails. And that's another thing that you should really be, you know, thinking about when we're talking about data entry, is because that this is a job that doesn't require a lot of skill. And also because this is a job that there are a lot of people that want into, you know, at any cost, the rates of pay in this industry are not very high. You know, there are some jobs out there that are less than minimum wage for data entry. There are a couple out there that I've heard recently that the people that are working there are making less than $3 an hour. So that's something that you really need to think about if you're looking for something that's going to pay the bills. Data entry may not be, you know, the way to go, at least at first. And, you know, especially if you need something that's going to be consistent. A lot of these jobs are going to be project-based. So you may have work today, but next week the project may not be available anymore. So you're going to need to have some backups. Now, alternatives, there are going to be some great alternatives for you to consider and when we're talking about data entry. These are still going to be things that don't require you to be on the phone, and they're also going to be things that you may not have to have any experience for. One of those is transcription. Now, what transcription is, if you are not familiar with that term, is you're just listening to an audio file and you're typing what the people are saying. So there are several companies. I will leave a list here. I didn't leave you a link right now, but I will pull up a list of companies that I have that don't require any experience, that you can get your foot in the door and start, you know, testing this out and see if it's something that, you know, appeals to you, because this is another job that does offer a lot of flexibility sometimes. So transcription is one of them. Writing is something that I really love for people, and I know some people think, well, I don't have the skills for that. But that just isn't the case. It is something that, you know, you should at least try out at some point in time, because it's totally flexible. There's no phone involved, and it's something that you can do regardless of whether you're sitting in the doctor's office, you know, waiting for your kid's appointment, or you're in the carpool line. You know, you could be working on an article to be turned in, you know, to your clients. So writing is something that you should consider at some point, especially if you like research. We often hear that research is a job that people are interested in. Well, what exactly, you know, does research involve? Usually it involves looking things up and writing them down, you know. So writing is a natural fit for those people that love to read and love to research things. The next thing that we can talk about is work at home chat and email jobs. There are quite a few companies out there that hire for that. You may not be interested in working on the phone, but answering people's customer service emails, or, you know, being the person on the other end of that little chat support box on a website may be a good fit for you. Amazon hires these jobs. We recently saw a huge hiring spree with Amazon for their seasonal customer service positions. You'll want to keep a eye on their website. Apple hires chat agents. There's a company called support.com. Sutherland at Home occasionally has these positions. Sykes, Teletech, and even Uber hires chat agents. So that's something to keep in mind. Those are out there as well. It's customer service. You may have to look under the customer service jobs in order to find these openings, but they don't involve being on the phone. So they may work out just perfectly for you. The customer service here, it is going to be most likely a little more scheduled than, you know, the flexibility that will come with transcription or a straight up data entry job, but it's something to consider. And earlier I mentioned the Smart Crowd, which is part of Lionbridge. If you have heard that name before, it's because, like I said, they hire search engine evaluators. Now that is a job that doesn't involve the phone. It's pretty laid back. The people that do that job love the flexibility that comes with it. You know, there's not always steady work available. Some projects only allow you to work 1 hour a week or 5 hour a week, but it's something that you can do to get your foot in the door, especially if you're just starting out with work at home. I know a lot of people they voiced their concerns with me because some jobs do say that you need work at home experience. So you're in that catch-22 where how can I get work at home experience if I can't get a work at home job? So some of these easier things that may not provide a consistent, you know, full-time paycheck will allow you to get that foot in the door and get that experience to put on your resume for next time. So one thing we talk about a lot, you know, in the work at home world is that your first job isn't going to be your last job. This work at home world is very much about moving up the rungs of a ladder. Get that first job that's going to get you to the second better job, that's going to get you to an even better job. You know, it's constantly a journey around here. Where you are today is not going to be where you are probably 5 years from now. So just sometimes I say that in my newsletter series that you have to kiss some frogs in order to get where you're going in the work at home world. You may have to take that job that you don't really love in order to get the job that you do love 6 months from now. So keep that in mind. These are some opportunities for you to consider. I will go ahead and drop you a couple more links here in the description to check out. And let me know if you have any comments or questions. We can certainly address some of those in an upcoming video, or I can just drop you an answer here in the comments. So feel free to let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what kind of work you're looking for. And even let me know some of the struggles that you're experiencing right now with your work at home job search. So I'm always happy to help. And make sure you're subscribed. If you're over on YouTube, you know, make sure you're subscribed to my channel there. If you're on Facebook, make sure you're clicking that notification button so you can join me next time. And until then, I will talk to you soon, and best of luck with your work at home job search.